Hello everybody, this is Dominic Hess and this is my demonstration video on how to build concrete countertops. Now, why would you build concrete countertops in comparison to building laminate or marble or granite or any other sorts is because it's cheaper. In the long run, it's a lot cheaper to build granite because you can do it yourself, you can use cheap material, and it doesn't cost much labor. I mean, realistically, maybe you probably spend a few hours and then it's done. Then you have to let it cure for a few days and it's set up, and that's it. That's all you have to do for it. In comparison to laminate, you just board it up, but you won't have the characteristics of a concrete or granite or marble, which allow you to have heat resistance. And concrete has one ability over other ones is you can easily clean it. Let's say like marble, you cannot like clean it with just Dawn soap and water. You have to use some special chemicals to clean it. Same thing with granite. You get these special chemicals. You can use Dawn soap and water, but it's not highly recommended. In concrete, Dawn soap and all water. That's all you need. Nothing else to it. Now, in order to build the concrete countertops, you have to build a form. A form is two walls and a long wall. I mean, depending on the size of your countertops, you could have like a long wall, and then you have a short one, or whatever it may be. It could be crooked. Like for example, when you're pouring for around the sink, what the best thing to do is you cut out insulation and put it in the hole where the sink will be, and then you pour concrete around it to form the countertop for that sink. Sure, the concrete is going to go overlap or have a little overlap over the sink, but you won't be able to see it. And once you waterproof it, you have no worries about it. So this is how you build it. You use MDF boards. Now, in comparison, a lot of people like when pouring flooring or chimneys or anything of that sort, most of the time they use wood. The problem is with wood with countertops is it sucks all the water, all the moisture from the cement. And when it does that, it leaves bubbles. So you got fine bubbles here, there, and there, and they're all like we call them Swiss cheese. So you got Swiss cheese everywhere, and it looks horrible. You don't want that at all. So when you start off, you use MDF board, which is as a white color is non-sticky. It doesn't take up any of the moisture. You put MDF board on the bottom, and the forms on the sides, so you can pour it in. Now, if you're going for a whole countertop, in order to save yourself time and money, I'll recommend using these own ingredients is concrete powder, sand, and fiberglass. It's a fiberglass feathers, not actual fiberglass. Fiberglass feathers. And when you mix them all together, it has the feathers will give reinforcement to the concrete instead of using mesh wire or rebar or something of that sort. The fiber is also well because when it's finished, you don't have to sand it. That means, if you use a mesh wire or rebar, you have to sand it afterwards. So most likely you have to bring it outside and sand it for a few hours or quite a few hours. In this method, you don't have to sand it at all. It eliminates all the way. So when you mix it all together, you use a trowel or a hole or whatever you may do in a bucket, and you mix it. When you mix it, you have the forms all set up. You have to use black caulk around the edges to seal in so it doesn't cement doesn't go all underneath it. Use black caulk with a painter's tape so you get it perfectly in the corners all around the whole square or rectangle, wherever it may be. And when you do that, you spread the concrete will be like a chunky milkshake or something like that. It'll be really thick. So when you get the trowel, you dig it up or pick it up, wherever you make case, and you throw it on in the forms. You're gonna have to use a paint roller of sort. So when you roll up and down, you can take out all the air bubbles in it. And when you take the air bubbles out of it, there won't be no holes. Now, when you have let's say here's the bottom of it. Here's the forms on the side and whatnot. When you're pouring the concrete in, this will be the top of your countertops. So when you're done with it, you have to flip it up, and that will be your top of your countertops. If that was trying to make a lot of sense, you flip it upside down so you can make all the bubbles out. Now, what we did was put several layers of it and roll it out, get all the air bubbles out. Then we put insulation pads. They're like a styrofoam type deal, styrofoam foam. You put them like a square right in the middle, and then have the gaps on the side, the overlap. You have the overlaps on the side, wherever the thickness would be, you mean 4 inches, 3 inches. But if you put that insulation pad in the middle, then you just have to pour the concrete around the overlap. That's all you have to do, rather than pouring a lot of concrete in the middle as well. Now this will save a lot of concrete, and you people couldn't tell. I mean, sure, it'll be a 2 or 3 inches at the top, but underneath you're missing like 4 or 5 inches just because you have the overlap. So let's say you have 3 inches in the middle, at the overlap you have like 5 inches, but there will be nothing to support it. With that fiberglass, it'll reinforce it all, so you don't have to worry about it, and use less concrete and less material. So when we did ours, we only spend about $100. It's about, I think it was like 7 feet of countertop. It was a lot of countertop. But when we use that method, there's no waste of material. You reduce the amount of waste down to a minimum. And on plus of that, it has enough strength in it that it'll be as durable as anything else. Even if you're putting like 5 inches of concrete in it, it'll be as durable as it was 2 inches. The fiberglass really reinforces it all. You can also change the colors around to like add black, blue, white, yellow, whatever you want it to be. We added black and white. So when you have it down, we sand it a little bit, and it'll have blemishes of white coming through the black, which may look the resemblance of marble, for example, like a black marble. We did that and we loved it. However, unfortunately, my uncle knocked it over when it was curing, and it broke it, and it all fell apart. But it takes maybe a few hours to get it all set up and ready. To get depending on the size of your countertops, and then it takes 3 days for it to cure. That's all it is. 3 days to cure, and when it's done curing, you flip it up, check all the sides, make sure everything's smooth and ready to go, and then go test it and go put it on the countertop that you framed up already and see if that works. Or if you take an existing frame and just take off the laminate or marble crown, whatever you take it all off and put it away. So $100 you get it all done, saves you like 4 grand if you do it, or being paid professional to do it. That's the average cost of our countertop. Thank you.